Hi, thanks for joining me again. I'm Linda Hollington with Coldwell Banker Paradise. And we have been going this through the end of the year here. We're going through the questions that have been asked throughout the year. There's been so many changes. There's been so many questions. And we're going to go over them real quick. But if you have any questions about anything else, you can let me know. I'd be happy to give you a longer answer of things. Financing a home. Sometimes, we think of it, okay, I'm going to buy a house, so I'm going to go get a mortgage, and we're going to sign the papers, and we're done, right? Sometimes it's not quite that simple for people. Sometimes they have to get rather creative to get money to buy a house and those types of things. So, I'm going to go through some suggestions. I'm not going to go into detail on these. Like I said, if you have any questions, let me know. We all have Google, and I use it just like everybody else does. You can do some of that investigating on your own. Or if you have any questions and you want some help, I'm here. I'm not trying to discourage you from that. Financing a home. Like I said, sometimes you have to get very creative to be able to do that. The down payment, your credit, your down payment are two big hurdles normally, unless you've been working on it, saving for it, and working towards that. But your down payment, there's federal, state, and local help with down payments. The government around you realizes how stabilizing having people buying homes can be to a community. So they support it in lots of ways. So you need to get on there and find out what's available to the area that you want to be in. Because they could have something locally, they can have something, by county, they can have something by state, and on up from there. So there's lots of sort of resources. And that's something else that your realtor can help you with. And another thing, when you're buying a home, think of two things if you're struggling a little bit. Can you assume the mortgage? This person's mortgage. Excuse me. That means you'll see how much is on that mortgage. You may have to come up with the rest of the money. This is where it gets creative here. But imagine this. If you could assume a mortgage on a house back where they were getting 2%, think of the money that you would save. You'd still have to get a mortgage for the rest of the amount and end up paying this one that's only 2%. Pretty good deal. You can't really beat that anywhere else. Not all mortgages are assumable, but some of them are. So don't forget to ask that question and see if there's any savings there for you. And you could sometimes the seller will hold the mortgage for you or part of it if you're trying to look for creative financing. And you can always ask your family for help. I know when I started out, that's who helped me. My dad helped me, and in the end, I ended up helping him. So that's the way it works. If they could gift the money to you, they also can go in shared appreciation with you. What's wrong with that? Buy the house together and have it set up so if anything happens to one or the other, it'd be, that you're still protected, that kind of thing. But go in and buy it together so you actually have a share in the property. That kind of thing. There's you just have to get creative. And if you can't cover that mortgage, think of a short-term mortgage, maybe to cover your down payment and paying the closing costs or whatever you need. People get a short-term second mortgage from the bank. There's lots of ways to get creative. This is just some of them. It's not always as clear-cut as you think. There's people that struggle with it all the time. So that's why these things have been created. So there are creative ways. Thank you for joining me. See you again real soon. Bye.